each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. All right. We're going to be in AA Comes of Age, page 279, it looks like. I have no idea what it's going to say. I just know when it's not in the big book or it's a 12 by 12, I grab it because we don't hear it. We don't hear from, we don't do stuff from the other books very often. So. Okay. All right. I'm all caught up, but we will we'll wait for some people to kind of get here, so I don't do too much repeating because I know I do a lot of repeating here. Ow! It's my shoulder. Tylenol at least helps a little bit. I don't know. We alcoholics have a high tolerance to. First of all, we have a high tolerance to pain. Yes, we do. Unless you're male and sick, but that's not the same. I know I get whinier when I get sick. I try and tough it out, right? I try and tough it out. And first couple of days I do okay, and then I just can't take it anymore. Part of life, right? Part of life. Got therapy today. Now I got therapy on Tuesdays. Got that. I got that right under the just in time. Just in time. But it's gonna be nice to okay. That doesn't make much sense. Waiting for a couple things to get done. My patience is kind of wearing out on some things today. Well, not today, but my patience is just wearing out on some things that are supposed to be completed. And they have not, like my payment from Adams County. I'm a little miffed about that. I was supposed to be paid a month ago, like actually a month and a week ago, right before Christmas. Oh, that would have been about a month ago. Let's call it that. And after New Year's, I wrote, I'm like, where's my payment? And they said, well, your stuff is blurry, so we denied it. And I wrote it back. I'm like, you've already paid me twice. So, or is it once? I think it's just once. See, I get mixed up with numbers. I have to question. I'm not sure. So we're going to go with one, just so I'm not lying. One way or another. I'm like, so why did you pay me that? And I also asked for the original paperwork. I sent them the original paperwork because I found it, and it was not blurry. There was nothing blurry about it. And I do not like being lied to. So I'm going to talk to their boss today. I said, first you lied to me. Now I still haven't seen my payment. Where's this at? Where is this at? I'll call Dr. Kelly if I have to, over $150. Come on, man. Bill's going to be a lot higher than that on 31st. So, all right, let's get started. Ain't nobody quite here yet, or there is, or there isn't, or who the fuck knows anymore. Welcome to Daily Trudge. It does get a little disconcerting when I get no one, but who cares? Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, would you do it? This happens when you button mash. I intentionally made myself sleep in a little bit later. I made myself sleep for an extra hour. This is a suspected spam caller. Because my Google listing, yes, block number. I block more numbers than I get actual phone calls. So we're going to be in AA comes of age, but if you turn it the right way, you can actually read it. I'm going to be on 278 in the middle if you would like to follow along and you have the book. All right, let's get started. When alcoholics live materialistic and drink excessively, they refuse to accept the label of alcoholic. Uh-oh. So I'm fixing my camera here. Yeah. What do people tend to call themselves? A functioning alcoholic. There is no such thing as a functioning alcoholic. I don't even tell. Let's see if Google will tell you what it is. But it's just there to provide information. Google doesn't tell you if it's true or not, right? And this can be opinion, but it's part of sacrifice and being a part of the whole, right? Is there such thing as a functioning alcoholic? High functioning alcoholics are colloquial terms for someone who's dependent upon alcohol. Now, this comes from priorigroup.com. What is class? I'm going to tell you something. There is no clinical class. There is no clinical class of functioning alcoholic. So, morning, Michelle. It is good to see you. We're all alcoholic, right? Page 52 tells us something, that we couldn't hold a job. We felt useless. We couldn't keep relationships. That is an alcoholic. It has nothing to do with material bullshit. Okay, that is opinion. It is. Yet when they cease to drink and when they say to themselves, to the world, we are alcoholics, the world refuses to see them as such. We call that, what do we call it? Stigma or codependency. Oh, you're not an alcoholic. You don't live on the streets. You don't walk around with a paper bag. I was doing that at 17. Would you think I'm an alcoholic? Well, no, you're 17. It's a phase. Bullshit. It wasn't a fucking phase. Okay. My daughter went through something. They're like, it's a phase. It's not a fucking phase, my friends. Okay. These are excuses to supply more excuses. And it's not going to work. But anyway, that's not really the topic. There are two moments in which utterance of the words, I am an alcoholic, have great significance. There's the first time a member speaks those words in an AA meeting, at an AA meeting. Right? Remember the first time you raised your hand and said, I'm so-and-so, I'm an alcoholic? I don't. It was so long ago. It was so long ago, I don't remember. Right? I was 16, I believe. Nah, I was in treatment. But my first AA meeting, I was 84, right? I went with my mom. Why do I keep doing this upside down? This, however, another and earlier time, which perhaps is even greater significance, that is the moment when a man says to his sponsor in the darkness and desperation of his soul, I'm an alcoholic. And this moment points to another paradox in AA. Let's find out what that paradox is. The paradox is that the member of AA approaches his suffering alcoholic brother not from superiority and strength of his position of recovery, but from the realization of his own weakness. I don't mind that. Oh, in a CA meeting? Oh, I bet they got depends. I don't know how CA works. How'd they take that? I'm just curious. They probably just took it in stride. There's a lot of people that are dually diagnosed in the program. Absolutely. And I don't even mind if somebody comes into a meeting and says, I'm an addict and alcoholic. You okay? That's fine. But we're going to be talking about solution only. I don't give a fuck what you're addicted to. It's the fact that when we go to meetings, we talk about the solution, right? But in this case right here, we're not talking from any superior point. I have a severe weakness to alcohol. I understand my own weaknesses, but instead of fighting them, I work with them. Now, what are they saying here? It means we meet people where they're at, man. Why? Because we are there. Every morning or every evening, I go to bed a recovered alcoholic and I wake up a drunk. I wake up a drunk again and then I have to do it again. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. In fact, I quite enjoy waking up in the morning and making the decision that I don't want to drink today. It's very powerful. It's how I start my day. I start my day with courage. Right? Not always, right? Yesterday I didn't do that. I had to kind of go through some things and then I got to my courage. He does not speak of how, oh, the member talks to the newcomer not in the spirit of power, but in a spirit of humility and weakness. Hey, man, I know what it's like. It sucks. And it's not any different today than it was 8 years ago. It's still the same thing. Alcoholism is still the same thing. Alcoholism has not morphed into something different. I'm kind of feisty today, if you can't tell. All right. People tend to like me on my feisty days, though. Yeah, faith without works is dead. Absolutely. You cannot. Hey, God, please keep me sober today, and then go Netflix binge. So how it works. Okay. I do not decompress until I know that I have helped somebody today. No rest. Not until then. He does not speak of how misguided the still suffering alcoholic is. He speaks he speaks of how misguided he once was. He does not sit in judgment of another, but in judgment of himself as he has been. That is humility. And that's about facing our snakes. See, once you face your snakes, they don't necessarily go away. You don't want them to go away. How else are you going to bring them out and show them to other people so that they know that they can do it too? Cats are going a little stir crazy. Gotta make sure they're just. My house is pretty much cat proof. So, as you can see, there's no shelves. And the shelves I do have, they can't get to. All right. Right? So we do not sit in judgment. It is not for me to judge. I don't even get to judge myself. I kind of do. All right. But I can be the juror, but not the judge of myself, if that makes sense. Right? Because if you run around determining your own worth, you're going to get it wrong. And it's probably going to be chock full of pride and ego and all these emotions that don't belong there. Right? So, society, in referring to the alcoholic, employs the expression the enslavement of alcohol. For the AA member, the statement is a very special sense, paradoxical too. If indeed it is true at all, in sober fact, the member was never enslaved by alcohol. Right? I understand what they're saying. Okay. Now, let's put this is what they're saying. We have alcoholism, right? All right. So once I take away the alcohol, what do I have? Ism. I, self, me. Ism. The brain is the ism. Once the alcohol is gone, what you are is sober. That is the very fact. That is the very definition of sober. The absence of alcohol. It's all it is. It's nothing more than that, right? So, if it isn't, alcohol simply served as an escape from our personal enslavement to the false ideas of a materialistic society. You were going after stuff you would never reach. All right. Whoever dies with the most stuff wins. Keeping up with the Joneses, being the perfect neighbor, doing this, doing that. It's a materialistic society, one I do not join in on. I'm not a very materialistic person. I have some cool stuff, but all the stuff that I appreciate is things like this, things that people have made for me. I'll hold on to this forever. I will never let this go, ever, 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 because somebody made it for me. Okay. His bear given to me by my grandkids for my 8th birthday. Never going to go away. Actually, it was Father's Day. It was Father's Day they gave me that to me. They're like, we know it's not your birthday. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Handwritten letters. I got several handwritten letters. Yeah, I will keep those. I will keep those. Yet, if we accept society's definition of alcoholics' earlier state as enslavement by alcohol, the AA member can no longer resent it, for it has served to set him free from the materialistic traps with which the paths through the jungle of our society are set. For the alcoholic first had to face materialism as a disease of society before he could free himself from the illness of alcoholism and be free of the social ills that made him an alcoholic. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah. We fell into the game, man. And since we're extremists, we took it all the way, didn't we? Took it all the way. Yeah. There, and we can go the extreme the other way of recovering out loud. Okay. I was just watching this ad and they're like, would you like to attract more clients? And they kept using attract. I wrote, okay. I wrote, so your attraction is through promotion. You say attraction, but you're promoting. A paid ad is promotion. It very much is. Okay. I don't do paid ads. I was just talking to a friend this morning, and I said, in the case of what I do, less is more. Now, because they're like, why are you shutting down your group? I'm like, God's telling me to, and I don't feel bad. Some people are like, oh, that's sad. I'm like, no, it's not. It's the start of a new beginning, my friends. It means something else is on the horizon. That's all it means. Okay. If I was doing it for popularity reasons, I'd be sad. But honestly, it's kind of a relief. It's one less thing I don't have to fucking post to, right? And I can tell you now, my count of people have not gone down. Oh, if you were here yesterday when those guys came in and bombed with the mushroom thing, oh, I found them and I tore, woo! Oh, I found them. They were using this thing called Telegram. And they see, if you fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you back so hard you're going to block me, and then you'll just leave me alone. Bullies don't like it when I push back. I have deep empathy, and bullies do not scare me at all. I haven't since I was like 8, right? Oh, I got him. You bet I did. You know, I have no qualms putting people in their place. I don't. You know what? I was in a place called Gemini Shelter, and I think I was 15. Doesn't really matter. I was a teenager, right? And people kept coming to me about this one guy. He was just messing with the girls. He was pushing around and I don't know what it is, but whether I was in jail or, even as an adult, when I was in jail or a group home or anything else, I was the pod father. I don't know why, but I was the problem solver. And this kid, he was like sexually messing with the girls. Okay. And this is something Dion is not okay with. And we're in the day room And the day room had all these windows across it so staff could see. And I'm kind of going back and forth with this guy. And then what I did is I fucked with his mother because I saw his staff coming by. And he hits me square in the chest. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, he went to jail. He went back to jail. Okay. But what he did is he learned a valuable lesson. Don't fuck with people in those group homes or you're going to go back to jail. I don't know why, but I've always been like that. Because I know what it means to be pushed around, to be fiddled with as a child, okay? Having advances, making me hug my abuser and shit. I know what that's like. No, not in, no. I have a couple grandkids that are just not huggers. I don't make them. I don't. I'll ask, hey, can I get a hug this time? Yeah. Awesome. No, I'm just out in the mood. Okay, how about a pound? I love you. You know I do, right? You know I love you. I'm not gonna push it. Okay. But here, sorry, I'm a little off, and I do need to wrap up because therapy. Men and women who use alcohol as an escape, that would be me, are not only the ones who are afraid of life, hostile to the world, fleeing from it into loneliness. Jesus Christ, he just described me. I was just described. Oh, I was just described. That was me well most of my life. All of it. I was afraid of life and I was hostile. You bet. And I fled. I ran to loneliness. Millions who are not alcoholics are living today in an illusionary world, nurturing the basic anxieties and insecurities of human existence rather than face themselves with courage and humility. Yet now I got a lot of courage. Where it used to be hostility, it's now courage. Okay. Okay. To those people, it can offer as a cure no magic potion, no chemical formula, no powerful drug, but it can demonstrate to them how to use the tools of humility, honesty, devotion, and love, which indeed are the heart of the 12 steps of our recovery. Let's get in a good stretch. Let's get a good stretch in. I'm thinking about extending the grassroots meetings to more days. I don't know though. That's just more work for me at the moment. Yeah, I'll ask my therapist. All right. So serving my brother, the member talks to the newcomer not in the spirit of power, but in the spirit of humility and weakness. As the days pass in AA, I ask God to guide my thoughts and words that I speak. In this labor of continuous participation in the fellowship, I have numerous opportunities to speak. So I frequently ask God to help me watch over my thoughts and my words. And they may be true and proper reflection of our program to focus my aspirations once again to seek his guidance, to help me be truly kind and loving, helpful and healing, yet always filled with humility and free from any trace of arrogance. Arrogance. It is easy doing this when people start, quote unquote, following you, not in the sense that I have followers, but watch you on a regular basis. You got to watch your arrogance. It's easy to get arrogant here. Like real easy. Okay. Because you get excited and, I'm a storyteller, man. What does storytelling mean? It means that I embellish. That's what storytelling is. It's embellishing. So even when I tell a story, I got to watch my embellishing. Unless I'm telling like a true story and people know I'm embellishing. Okay. But there is an expectation of the embellish there when you do that. Okay. And you see it all over. Take my master class. Oh, you don't need AA. You don't need this. You just need to do mine. I found 3 steps to know what you're saying is you were unwilling to do the work. So you went and started your own program. And now you're trying to get people paid for it. I call that paid 12th stepping. And it's no good in my book. And I ask these people quite often, I'm like, what are you doing? And then they get mad. And I'm like, hey, if you can't even handle me, then maybe you shouldn't be in this business. You're getting mad at me for just asking simple questions. Like, why? Why are you doing this? What is your intention? Why do you think after being sober 2 years, you're an expert in this field? Now, well over 10, my friends, with education. We had too many coaches. Everybody's a fucking coach now. Everybody wants you to take their classes. It's a mess. Anyway, today I may very well a mess you don't have to get involved with. Just like I was saying, alcoholism earlier hasn't morphed into any other kind of disease in the last hundreds and hundreds of years. And the to think that all of a sudden we have reached another plane of existence or gotten any more intelligent or advanced mentally as human beings is ridiculous. That takes thousands of years, and it does not happen. And so there is not any new thing out there. None of it is new. It has been tried before, and if it did work, then why isn't it still around? Last person I asked, what's your success rate? They probably won't know what it is. All right, today I may very well have to deal with disagreeable attitudes or utterances, the typical stock and trade attitude of the still suffering alcoholic. If this should happen, I will take a moment to center myself in God so that I will be able to respond from a perspective of composure, strength, and sensibility. What? Yes, I got to be sensible, man. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Mostly Michelle, because she was the one that hung out today. But thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day.